So Crowdcube is an equity crowdfunding platform. It allows ordinary people to invest small amounts of money into startups and early stage companies in the UK, and they basically get an equity stake or shareholding in those businesses. How did we do it? How did we start up Crowdcube? Well, I mean, that was it was difficult. We came up with the idea, and like most ideas, it seemed simple to start with, and then the more you explore it, the more difficult it became. And it became clear quite quickly that we needed to get some legal advice on this. I mean, this is a heavily regulated area, so the first thing we did was find some good lawyers to help us out with this. And we were very fortunate. The lawyers that we found really believed in the idea. They believed that this should happen, and they did a lot of work for us for free because we were poor entrepreneurs. We didn't have much money and we couldn't afford their fees, so they did it on a pro bono basis. And they basically analysed the sector and looked at how we were going to structure the business, and came up with some suggestions on how we might use certain exemptions in the regulations to make crowdfunding work. Yeah, well, like I said, there's a lot of red tape involved in this, and our regulator, the Financial Services Authority, are very concerned about protecting investors, as you would imagine. And crowdfunding, of course, democratises investment and it lets ordinary people invest. And those people need to be prepared to understand what they're doing, and they need to understand the risks. So again, I mean, our lawyers really gave us a good steer on how we would do that, and we're still using them to date, and we're still using them to help us navigate through and find the best way of doing this. We didn't really do campaigning. I mean, when we started, crowdfunding was barely heard of. We went to the government, well, we went to the regulator with our business model and asked them whether it would work, and they said, yeah, it works, so we started off. But of course, since then, crowdfunding has really evolved a huge amount, and there's a lot of businesses trying to enter the same space that we're in. And the regulations in the UK, probably likewise in Canada, they're not, what's the best way of putting this, they're not friendly to crowdfunding. And regulation really needs to change to make it work in the UK as well as in Canada. Yeah, our business model uses an exemption in UK law which allows investments within a corporate body to be exempt from the regulations. So what we do is all the investors who sign up on Crowdcube become part of a company that we operate, and all of the businesses that get funding through Crowdcube become subsidiaries of that same company, which means that we have architected a situation where they're all part of the same corporate body, and the exemption then applies. What advice do I have to entrepreneurs wanting to start a platform? I mean, it's a challenge. Be prepared for a tricky road ahead. It's been a roller coaster ride for us. But I would say that look at the other platforms that are operating, try and learn from what they're doing, and really focus on the investor. It's easy to focus on the entrepreneurs and the businesses that are coming through, but your platform's nothing if you don't have investors and active investors on your platform. So really focus on that side of things. Yeah, there is potential for fraud. We protect people in a number of ways. First of all, we try to educate our investors to get and to understand what they're getting into and the risks involved in investing in startup businesses. But on the more proper fraud side, we do a lot of vetting of the businesses that come through to us, and we think we weed out any potential fraud ourselves. But then, of course, remember, you get tens of thousands of people looking at these businesses, and anybody who might potentially slip through the net, they're easily exposed by the crowd themselves.